Hello everyone, this is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and today is Tuesday, June the 15th, 2021, and I am here to give you a post-StitchCon update. We'll call it an update, because I know it's been a few weeks since I've recorded a regular Flosstube video, so if you are new to my channel, thank you so very much for subscribing and liking. And I have gotten a few more subscribers since StitchCon. I was at weekend A. And if you are new, just checking out my video, I thank you for stopping and taking the time out of your day to view. Hopefully you will like something that I am working on, and you will be interested enough to subscribe and come back. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so very much for the support and all the care and well wishes going to StitchCon. So I'm going to just give you my insight into it and show you a little bit of the items that I picked was given to me and some purchases that I made. I will come back with a regular Flosstube video probably by Saturday, because I have a lot of regular content that I need to get you all caught up on, because May was a very good month. I actually have 4 finishes in May, and so I'll be excited to show you those. And I have started some new projects, and so I'll be excited to show you those also. So I left home Wednesday morning, going down to Sharonville/Cincinnati. I did not stay at the hotel. I stayed with Lynn X Stitches Creates, and we had a good time. We, left early in the morning and came back late at night. I had actually wanted to film a StitchCon recap video on Monday, but my throat was raw and I was pretty hoarse. And then when I got home, so I am coming down the street to get to my house, and my neighbor calls me and says, did your power go out? And I'm like, well, I don't know, because I'm just now getting home. So as it turns out, the power went out right at 4 o'clock and did not come back on until 11:30 that night. And I was so exhausted, because I have a CPAP machine, and I don't sleep well. So I was exhausted on Monday. So I just was like not trying to do it yesterday. So I do want to start out with, let me start out with what I stitched the most on. This is a pattern chart. As you know, this is Pride Month. And I am a proud mother of 2 children, 2 adults that live, that are gay. And so I always try to find during June to stitch something for the Pride community. And so this is MI Creates, I always say it wrong, MI Studio Creates. She is on Etsy, and I will link it below. And it's called the Progressive Pride Flag. And I started outlining it before I left, so that I would have something, that I wouldn't have to really count. And this is where I've gotten to so far. And it is going to be my goal to get this completed by the end of June 30th. So I love it. She is um, a wonderful designer. She is on Etsy and she does have quite a few designs. So please make sure you check her out. She's a wonderful young lady. Also, she was she is a very wonderful young lady. I have little piles all around me of things that I got from StitchCon and brought home. I have a lot of haul, so that's why the video is going to be a little different. However, I do want to show you one of my finishes for May, because May was I was working on the mental health care sal. And I appreciate those that joined in along with me. Lynn X Stitches Creates, Shelly, Proverbs 31 were the two ladies that I know stitched and finished projects and posted their pictures to the with the hashtag. So I appreciate you ladies. I will continue as long as I am doing a Flosstube. I'll be just continuing on with that hashtag for May, because mental health awareness and care is so important to me. So this was my May piece, and I finished the words on it. And so I wasn't a big fan of the hearts right here. And I was talking to Pam, excuse me, of Pam and Steph, Just Keep Stitching. And she was saying I needed like a chair or a couch, like right here. And so now I'm looking to find a chair or a couch to put in. I would actually like just two armchairs, small. So I'm going to be looking for those. But for right now, I am calling it a finish. Again, this is on 16 count Dapple by Mystic Fibers, and the threads are my Funny Valentine. Oh, it just went right out of my hand. By Leo and Roxy in Canada. And I will have those links below also. You can get the thread from Caroline off the Grid Needlework, Needle Art in her shop, and I will link that also below. It is called Evertote. So let me keep going with that. So I put some pieces on the brag table, and so since I started my Flosstube after I had already given this, I wanted to show you. This is African women dancing. I stitched this for my best friend for Christmas 2019, and it was framed at Hobby Lobby. It is on a 14 count white Aida with the call for DMC threads, and it is a pattern on Etsy. If you type in African women, I'm gonna hold this down. So if you type in African women dancing, it'll pop right up. I've seen it several times. So that was a previous finish. And then I have one more, and it is my MLK sampler. And I actually picked it up. It was brought to me actually at StitchCon, and I'm sorry about the glare. I'm trying to like hold it so you won't be able to see the glare. But here it is, and I'll just back up maybe a little. There we go, so you can see it all. And it is everything and more that I thought it would be. It is so beautiful. And so I had it on the brag table at StitchCon. So those were two of my brag table pieces. I'm sorry, I'm just like trying to make sure like the frames don't rub up against each other. So I'm, in Colleen Rebel Stitcher's video, she talked about the freebie table. When X Stitches actually would go to the freebie table and come back with a chart for me. And so I just want to show you some of the charts that she picked out. Out of all of this, I only picked out one of them. So here's the whole Mill Hill kit, beads and all. And it's a butterfly, of course. And then she found this kit also. Full. I mean, they have the beads, the fabric, the whole thing. And then I actually think she found this one first. And it's a Lizzie Kate prayer connection. And I always need prayer, so I loved it. I actually picked this one up because it is a printed canvas, and my oldest granddaughter is interested in cross stitch, so I thought this would be an easy way to be able to teach her, and so I'm looking forward to getting her started with that this summer. And then Sue Hillis comes up with some of the best design quotes. I love them. And so this one, which is correct, and that was also on the freebie table. She also picked up this Rosewood Manor chart for me off the table. And then, as you know, I am already stitching a beach chart by Barefoot Needle Art. And so she found, or I might have found this one. And so I found another one to go with it. Then there was the May wordplay that was on the table. I mean, the whole chart is here. The cover page is a little damaged, but the chart wasn't damaged at all. And then a nice piece for my magazine monthly challenge group, because I love flowers. And so this was a nice piece to have. And people, they take such good care of them. Like, it came in the protector and everything. It was wonderful. I am developing quite a collection of the Imaginating charts, and this was on the freebie table. It doesn't look like it has ever even been opened. And then there was a Raise the Roof, and I don't have any Raise the Roof charts, and it is wonderful, and it'll go hand in hand with not only my cross stitching but my quilting. And it's called Closet UFOs. And so I thought that was great. I actually have a couple of guild members I could stitch this for also as a gift. So those were those were all, and I didn't, we sat right next to the freebie table. Sorry if you can hear that. I have the window open. It's actually very nice here today, the weather. And so I have the window open. Like I was saying, we sat right next to the freebie table, and I'd walk past it, going to see people and come back, and I didn't look very much at all, but there were some nice charts that some of my friends ended up with, and so be sure to check out the freebie table weekend B, because all of the things that didn't get picked up by people from weekend A, when I left on Sunday, they were all still on the table. So I don't know if they put them all back out again. I'm sure they do. Like, they wouldn't really want to try to take them home, I guess. But so those were all the freebie charts that I ended up with. And then I went into the Annex on Friday when it opened. Yeah, I went to stitch. I left here on Thursday, not Wednesday. I took Wednesday off so that I could prepare. And then when I went into the annex, I once the annex opened on Friday, oh my goodness, just Miss Barbara does such a wonderful job with all of the different displays. It was just incredible. Um, it was incredible. It was incredible. So I ended up with Heart in Hand, and I actually got to meet Miss Turner. It was such a pleasure to talk to her and get to know her a little bit better. You stitch people's things, and then they're like in a different world in my mind, anyway. Um, but just down to earth, stood there and talked with me, for a good 20, 30 minutes. And it was wonderful. So I really appreciate that. And this is Joyful Journal, and it's the May one. I'm actually looking for the June and July also. And then I picked up Stitching Bird, which is going to be a great little fun stitch. And then I picked a Patriotic Tiny Town. You get to looking at what people in line have, and then you're like, oh, let me go run and get that. Only a couple of things that I wanted, like, were out. And so I was like, okay, I'll just get them later. And then I picked up Lindy Stitch's Mermaid May pen book, because I'm all about the beach. I'm about the beach and the sea life. And I don't have a blue flower chart. This is my first, but I just love this flower on here. I actually one year had a flower that was similar to this growing in my yard, and I loved it. So I picked that up. And then I picked up a Needle Bling Designs. I guess I turned this way. Because I do snowmen for January through February, March, the beginning of March. So I'll get to add this to my snowman. And then I picked up another Heart in Hand. What do you fancy beside the seaside? And I can't wait to stitch this one either. I mean, that fish is intense. That's gonna be really intense stitching that fish. And like I said, I have really taken to the imaginating charts, and so this one was new that I found. Now this was in the annex, so I was. I don't see. Oh, it's 2020, so it's relatively new, and I can't wait to get started on that. It has all the different motifs of what summer is about. Things you do during the summer, all based around the ocean and the beach. And then there's this one, Let's Be Frozen. And do you see that snowflake right there? Oh my goodness. And it's in the shape of a snow. Oh my goodness, it just flew right out of my head. A snow globe. Look, I had to look at the picture to see. It's in the shape of a snow globe. So I already have a finishing idea, of course, for this one. And then Sue Hill I had never seen this before, as many times as I have been at Keepsakes. I had never seen this chart before, so of course I had to pick it up. And it is the map of Ohio. And there's actually another chart on the back, and it's God Bless America, or One Nation Under God. And I am going to start stitching this right away. so that I can have it finished by the 4th of July. And then, as it turns out, and I did see these, so if you're interested, um, she has several states within the United States. You could contact Keepsakes and see if they have your state's chart. I think it would be really cool to do that. I'm actually, which I'm not sure yet. I have two children that live in Texas, so I'm thinking about seeing if I can get the Texas one also and stitch it. Um, Not to give to them, just for me. I'm not. I'm not gonna do all that work and send it to them. I don't know that they appreciate cross stitch just too much. So while I was at Keepsakes, while I was at StitchCon, I made a couple of changes, and I had a start planned, and I had the fabric and the threads and all of that. Um, and then I decided that I wanted to try to start stitching on 28 count Jobelin or Lugana. And so I did that, and it's a very little start. Um, but I made sure that I had all the basics down, before I came home, because I wanted to make sure that I was going to be able to stick with it and not just do 3 stitches and be like, okay, I think I can get it. But I have been working on this. This is actually Steel City Stitcher Jody fabric. She doesn't give her fabric names. It's just a 28 count um, Jobelin, 28 count Lugana. And so the pattern is a token for my friendship, and this was gifted to me early on in the pandemic last year. I got a surprise. It was mailed to me by a sweet dear friend, and I needed a good pick me up, and this brought me to tears, and I cried, and I called her, and we cried together, and it was really good. So you know who you are, and I thank you and appreciate you so very much. So, with that being said, since I jumped on the whole 28 count bandwagon, I then had to go back and buy more. So, this is a 28 count Jobelin, and it's Calliope, and this is what it looks like, and that is a very good representation of the fabric. I can, and I'm gonna flip it over. It has, what you're not seeing is it has quite a bit of purple also, like right there in that area. Um, oh my goodness! So I have quite a bit of Ada, and by no means I will always be able to stitch on Ada. Um, but it'll be nice for me to have options now. Whereas, you know, I've always had options too with Ada, but it'll be nice to see the different way to stitch on Lugana or Jobelin. And I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was just like in awe of the fabric, because this is actually a 32 count Jobelin, and it is not, pardon me, it is Naiad, is what the name of this fabric is called. And do you see that? I mean, this, like, my fabric allowance that I have given myself has to go up, because of course, Ada is not as expensive as these fabrics are, but the modeling and the colors are just awesome. And I have some awesome Ada also. So again, I am not 100% switching over to Jobelin or Lugana, but I really do love it, and I have been able to get it down some, if that even is a thing. So I was involved. I did participate in the Smalls exchange, and unfortunately, the lady that got my small, we did not get a picture together with my small. Um, I'm actually going to contact her and see if she can send me a picture of it. Um, but what I received was this beautiful drum. So it also came with the antique looking dish. So I'm going to take it off so that I can hold it much closer. So it has the full alphabet on the top and the bottom. Beautiful, oh, sorry, beautiful flowers. It is so delicate and oh my goodness. And then it has the Lady Dot chenille on the top. I mean, it is perfect, and I squealed. I mean, perfectly weighted. I mean, it is just fabulous. And I had her card right here. Like I said, I got, oh, here it is. Her name is Miss Kelly. I didn't get permission to say her last name, but she did a phenomenal job. Even has fabric on the bottom. Um, and people were looking at me like, "Is that in your decor?" I was like, "No, but it will be now because I'm not giving it away." Yeah, I think some of the people were like, "Well, maybe she'll give it away if she doesn't like it," but I love it, and so I have not knickknacks. I don't want to call them that, but I will have this in my living room where I can appreciate it all the time. It is wonderful, 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 and she put a little flowery branch with it, which are the colors in the piece that she did. I mean, it is so. She said that the name of this chart is Blue Flower Drum, and it's by La Di Da. La Di Da. And it is beautiful. So if you are looking to do a smallish drum finish that is so delicate and I mean look at the M and the N, and her stitching is perfect. Like I'm trying to keep my little nasty fingers off of it because it is just perfect. Thank you so very much, Miss Kelly. I really appreciate it a whole lot. I did get a picture with her. However, I like I said, I didn't get her permission. I could talk to her on Instagram and see about getting permission to put the picture in with her. It is just magnificent, and so now I want to try to do a drum. You know, you see so many different things and so many different finishes on the brag table, and you're just like, oh, I want to see if I know I could do that. Or charts. Oh my, patterns finished, and I mean just. And I did not get a picture. I didn't take pictures of the brag table. Oh my goodness! But it was just. And like on Thursday there were already people there and they put their brag stuff, and then when people came in, if they didn't come in on Thursday they came in on Friday, and so just more and more and more was added, and it was just it was breathtaking to stand there and to walk. There had to be 10 tables of stitching, just exquisite. It was just mind blowing. How many different pieces, the the variety, the versatility, pieces that I have seen stitched big or stitched really small. It was just, it was incredible. I, um, I, other than Stitch Away, this was the first retreat that I have ever been to. And I'm hoping that it will not be my last. I do plan on going to StitchCon again next year. So I know it won't be my last, um, prayerfully. Um, and so it was just such an amazing time. I got to talk and spend time with Shelia and EJ and Ronnie and Gary and um, Miss Minnie, all exes, Miss Karen. I met people from Alabama, Idaho, um, and it's wonderful to meet people that you look up to in the Flosstube community, and they are just down to earth, no pretense, no, they are just who they are on their Flosstube channel, and I strive to be that same way on my channel. Um, and so those people that I met over this weekend, I hope that they feel the same way. I laughed and talked and visited. Um, if you ever get the opportunity to come to StitchCon, it is well worth every penny, all the miles driven, all the flights, the whatever you have to do to get there. It was an incredible experience. So I also got to meet one of my friends from California, and her name is Shelly, and she is Oh My Ada on Flosstube. So please go check her out. And when I got there, she had um, made me a project bag. And it has a little black fairies on it, which I had never seen this fabric before, so that was awesome. And then she has been working with, oh, her name just went right out of my head too. No notes this time, which is really bad for me. Oh, she does the floss, silk floss, and it's tied up really, really small. It'll come to me while I'm talking. And so she had been getting samples of silk floss to start her hate on, and these were a couple of see, I almost had it. These were a couple of samples that she got, and so she gifted them to me so that I could try the floss. And doesn't that just scream like beach? Water and the sunshine and all of that. It is wonderful, and it does feel very nice. So again, thank you so very much, Shelly, for the silk and the bag. I love it. I am thinking of my next project to put in this particular bag because I'm starting a lot of things. And then if there was one needle minder, there was 500. And I did not make needle minders, but the people were so gracious that they were just like, oh no, here, I made plenty. Everybody has to take one because I'm not taking them back home. And so I'm going to see if this is going to work. Okay. And so here's Albus. That's Colleen's baby. And then I got a butterfly needle minder and a little tiny bee from Sebastian. And the chocolate one, I literally stopped. I was walking down the aisle and stopped in my tracks and was like, oh my goodness, I need that. And then this needle miter also came from Link is my homeboy. She's in Indiana. And then this came from a set of sisters. The small rainbow heart came from her sister, and I can't remember what their names. And then, I mean, just floss rings. I walked around, and if people left, so Sunday, I was there until about 2:30 on Sunday. And so people had left there, and so I picked them all up. I picked up the ones that didn't have a parent. So I have plenty of Sunshine Stitcher floss holders. And then I met a wonderful lady from Virginia, Miss AJ, and she had made these. And then, just all kinds, which this was really good for me because I didn't have any ideas of what to do. And so now I have like an explosion going off. Here's one. I mean, just so many creative people, and not just with cross stitching, but like Miss AJ brought quilt blocks. And she had Flosstubers sign the quilt blocks so that she could make a StitchCon 2021 Weekend A quilt out of it. I mean, just so many different creative people. I was standing there talking with Miss Minnie, and a lady walked up. She had, okay, I'm trying to like hold this. She had literally been sitting there stamping these out. Why we had actually started talking in the registration line. She stamped them out and just handed them to me and was like, here you go, here's some floss rings for you. Just super nice. I had dinner with ladies that I didn't even know from Alabama. It was just an incredible experience. And it almost renews my faith in humanity, like that women and some men. I got to see Gina and her husband Jim for the first time. I had never met Jim, but I got to see them for the first time. They've moved out of Ohio, so I finally got to see her again and meet him. It restores your faith when you can go to a place like that with so many people, and the ones that you hope are not pretentious. You hope that the people that you see on a floss tube are those same people, that they're those people in real life. And I was super ecstatic that everyone, EJ, like, she showed me some tips and tricks on how to use my Lowry frame. I mean, just wonderful. And I know I've said that like 15 times, more than that, I'm sure. I mean, I met, and then, so Carolyn Zook couldn't come, and I was super sad. I mean, I'm super excited. She got a new house, and that's way more important. So prayerfully next year she'll be able to come. But not even knowing it, I didn't even know. Her best friend, Andrea, and I stood in the registration line talking, became fast friends, and then her best friend, Becky, we all became fast friends, sat down, talked for an hour and a half. These are people that I don't know, they're not in my inner circle, but I am so thankful that I was a part of it, and that I can call these ladies friends. That when I go to visit my friends in Nashville, I can go visit Andrea and Becky in Memphis. And that is what this experience has meant to me. Um, it was a whirlwind. Um, and thankfully, like, the time didn't move super fast. Sometimes you could be in a retreat, and it just seems like you look up in the day, the time is gone. And that is not how this was. All of the staff were wonderful. They dealt with, you know, things right now. If you had a concern or a question, it was incredible. Thank you, Miss Barbara. Thank you, StitchCon team. Um, I hope you all, if you are going to Weekend B, have the same kind of experience. It was wonderful, and I am truly appreciative that I was able to go. So, I think I have said thank you and how excited I was, and make sure to not forget to pick up or make sure you put your passport in a safe spot to bring home. There are some wonderful charts in here by designers um, that I am ready to stitch up already. So, with that, I will leave you for now. I thank you so very much for taking the time to listen to me ramble on about all that I experienced and all that I purchased. It wasn't as I didn't purchase. My account is still good. I didn't go as much overboard as I thought I did. When I tallied it all up, I was like, oh, that's not bad at all. That's less than what I thought I had spent. So it was good. It was a good experience. And to all of my friends, new friends, I thank you for your hospitality and your warmth and your kindness. Um, you all have a very good evening. I am going to take Mr. Albert out for a little walk, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Have a good one. Good night.